Hello, Aries, and welcome to Wild Magnolia Tarot. My name is Maddie, and this is your weekly reading for July 12th through the 18th. To start out, I'll pull some cards to give us an idea of what the theme is going to be for you guys for the next 6-7 days. The first card I pulled, and I pulled it before I started recording because shuffling these cards is not easy. We have here the Vision. Okay, and this is from the Wild Unknown Archetype deck. So look at this for a minute and consider what this means to you personally, just by looking at it. When I see this card, I think of dreams, mystery, magical callings, something that intrigues you, something that piques your interest on the deepest level, okay? Let's see if we can get that to focus a little. No, we can't. Why would we? So I'll pull a couple more cards to set the theme. And the Vision is, to me, all about your soul calling, okay? Messages from spirit that have been coming through to you potentially your whole life. It could be artistic vision. It could be idealistic vision. You could literally have visions that you need to focus on and take seriously. That's all implied by this card that you can't see anymore. So we'll pull a couple more cards for the theme of this next week, and then we'll get into the tarot cards. Okay, so first I have the crystal. Okay, and to me, the crystal is about, well, first of all, it's very magical, very spiritual in nature. I also think of the process by which crystals are formed, assuming they're not synthesized in a lab, of course. You know, some of these take millions of years to form, right? When you hold a crystal in your hand, ooh, there we go, right, like this one. It's like holding history. It's like holding ancient earth, right? And the molecular structure of a crystal is almost perfect, and how the molecules are bonded together and ordered out in during its creation. There's something very ancient and powerful about crystals that makes them so intriguing, so beautiful to us. When we see them, we like to feel them, we like to touch them, we like to hold them. They inspire us at times. For some people, maybe not everybody, but I think maybe you can agree with that. Okay, so our next card for Aries for the week of July 12th through the 18th. Go. A couple more cards to set the tone. Okay, we have memory. There we go. So to me, if I'm combining memory and crystal and vision, right, this could be literally you working through memories of your own from the past and from this life in order to find and make sense of the world around you. Perhaps this memory is like a past life memory, or this could also be referring to the information that naturally we have access to on a spiritual level, right? So people call it like the Akashic records. or the global consciousness, right? We're all connected to it. We can all tap in. It takes a lot of work and practice. But for some of you, there's something that you're beginning to remember, or that you've been trying to remember for a long time. And that's going to be something that's going to be heavy on your mind this week. Or something that you need to focus on. Perhaps there's something that you need to remember, okay, to move forward. So I take this card as a sign that Spirit is inviting you to explore your memories, your dreams, visions that you've had that you thought were just daydreams, but might have a lot more meaning to them and may go way deeper than just simply a wandering mind, right? So pull one more card for the theme, and we'll get to the tarot. One more card for Aries, please. Okay. We have full moon eclipse. Conclusions are within reach. Which is very wonderful, right? Coming near the end of a cycle, perhaps. Or perhaps whatever it is that you need to remember, or whatever it is that you are beginning to remember, is giving you the answers that you've been looking for in this past cycle. And I mean, by cycle, I mean moon cycle, or the past couple weeks, past month or so. Okay. And you'll have to forgive my camera. She tries so hard, and I love her anyway, but it is kind of hard to see the cards sometimes. She struggles to focus, but I'll do what I can to make things as visually pleasing as possible. So now we'll turn to the tarot, and I'm going to do a spread that's different from last week. I'm doing a lot of things different from last week, because I just want to try different things, new things, until I find something that works, something that flows well. Okay, so what do we have for Aries? First card I'm going to draw is going to be a card that represents you. Whew. If I do not drop them all. Okay, card that represents Aries for the week of July 12th through the 18th, please. Aries, July 12th through the 18th. So I have first the Seven of Pentacles. Something that you've been working hard on. Something that you've been investing a lot of time and energy into. You've sown seeds in some form, whether it be starting a business, investing in your education, building a home, whatever it is, it most likely is something that takes place on the material plane, and you're just now starting to see your efforts grow and bloom into something that's going to produce results, right? An implication that your hard work is beginning to pay off, or you're starting to see the return on whatever it is that you've been working on. Next card I'm going to pull, this is going to represent what is behind you. What have you left behind you this week? Left it in the past, moving on from it. All right, what are we moving on from? What's Aries moving on from this week? Or what you need to move on from, what you need to drop. What does Aries need to move on from? All right. We have the Nine of Swords, which is a good thing to leave behind. This can be restlessness, sleeplessness due to nightmares, anxieties, worries, things that occupy your mind and keep you awake at night. And with the Nine of Swords, the implication is that your anxieties are not logical or reasonable, or there really is nothing to worry about, or at the very least, it will not serve you to continue to feed into those fears and anxieties, right? So if there's something that's been worrying you, probably something having to do with this investment, right? It's a big one. And you may have a lot of anxiety because you're not seeing much return yet. You're not, what you thought you would manifest out of this is taking a lot longer than you planned. And this is confirmation that your hard work is going to pay off. Sometimes things just take more time, but the longer it takes, the sturdier your foundation is, right? And so what you do build, what you do grow, will last a long time. Okay, what is ahead of Aries this week? Okay, we have the Six of Wands. Good old victory. Okay, success. A win of some kind for you guys, Aries. This is something that you've worked really hard for. I know I've already said that, but I'm relating this back to that Seven of Pentacles, right? So this week you may actually see some sort of sign that your hard work is paying off. You might, if it's a business, you might actually have some money coming in this week, which will be enough, of course, to inspire you to keep moving on your path and not to give up because you think that you're wasting your time. You're not wasting your time. And we go back to this theme up here of memory and the crystal and conclusions within reach. Whatever information, let me rewind. The Nine of Swords, right? This anxiety. Anxiety in my experience comes from a lack of information or a lack of confidence, whether you don't have the answers you need and so you're left in a state of uncertainty, okay? Or you just don't believe that you are capable of creating the life and the circumstances for yourself that you want and that would make you happy, okay? And from memory and conclusions, okay, I get that those answers are coming into you. You are going to remember something. You're going to become aware of something that you have forgotten a long time ago, that is going to renew your sense of self-confidence. It's going to erase the doubt that you have about the path that you've chosen, and it's going to reinforce your desire to push forward. So now we will see what the underlying energies are for you guys. This could be something in the in your unconscious or your subconscious, okay? And we have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is all about fast-moving energy, right? A very quick flow. Things are happening really fast, and it's all about riding the current and flowing with it and tackling obstacles as you come across them. But because it's in the subconscious position, I think that you may be rushing yourself a little bit, or a lot, which doesn't really surprise me. Aries is not the most patient sign in the zodiac, from what I can tell. From personal experience, one of my very favorite people is an Aries, and I think she can agree. She's not the most patient. And so this is just confirming to you that just because things aren't happening as quickly as you wanted it to does not mean that things are not happening exactly as they are supposed to, right? Divine timing. Spirit doesn't work on your clock. It doesn't necessarily care when you want what you want. It gives you little bits and pieces as you need them, as you're ready to accept them, and then slowly over time, as you grow and you learn, you assemble the pieces into the life or the circumstances that you want and that are right for you and aligned with your values. Okay, so now we'll see what is the overhead energy, right? Like the you could consider it cosmic energy, energy that's coming in from outside yourself, from your higher self, or from spirit, that is going to help guide you this week through whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. So there's a focus here, right, on beauty and love. Allowing yourself to dream about the future, no matter how realistic it may seem. Very romantic, right? So to me, this is the universe telling you to allow yourself to dream of fantastical futures for yourself, right? That you can create beautiful things that hold value, right? Full of love, beauty. I just get beauty from this. And actually, the crystal to me is about beauty as well. And we have that Knight of Cups right in front of the crystal. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to draw a few more cards. I'm just going to clarify what we've got on the table so far, and then we'll move to oracle cards. So let's clarify, first of all, the Seven of Pentacles. Let's clarify that Seven of Pentacles, please. The Seven of Pentacles is clarified by the Knight of Blades. Okay? Acting from a place of truth and logic and understanding. Doing what you know to be right. Okay? Following your intellect. Nothing wrong with that at all. Making logical, conscious decisions that are helping you to ensure your own success. Next, we will clarify the Nine of Swords, what you are leaving behind. And clarify that Nine of Swords for me, please. Okay. We have the Star. So that's really interesting. I may need to stare at that for a second. So I think that when you were caught in those anxieties, when you were really worrying about the future, you were ignoring the source of your inspiration, right? You were forgetting in that moment that right now your path is divinely guided at this time for you guys. And I think that Aries is one of those signs that has the strongest connection to spirit and the strongest connection to that fire that drives you, okay? Like even out of the fire signs. So the idea here is to release your worries, release your anxieties, have confidence in yourself that even if things don't go the way you planned, that you can handle anything that comes your way. And to keep, to remember what inspires you, to tap into that energy, tap into like that divine flow that will move you forward and guide you when you're not quite sure where to go next. So what is ahead of Aries? Okay, we've got the Fool. Exploration. This could be a new phase of life for you. Especially with the Six of Wands, this victory. So you're going to have this victory, and then it's going to open up a whole new door to opportunity and experience. And it'll be in the direction of something that you're not familiar with. A whole new concept for you, whatever it may be, that you are going to feel driven to explore, to and without fear of failure, first of all, okay? Because that's another aspect of the Fool, right? He's somewhat inexperienced. Well, he's extremely inexperienced. The Fool does not know what awaits him on his journey, but also he does not know to be afraid. And so he's very adventurous and very brave in that way. And so I think the advice for you here is to approach this new phase of your life or of your plan with that kind of adventurous, open mindset where you're ready for anything. So now we'll clarify the Eight of Wands, your subconscious. And we have the Page of Swords. Okay, so perhaps there's a message there in your subconscious, or your subconscious is trying to communicate something to you, and you've been trying to move so fast that you haven't been able to hear it. So my suggestion would be to take some time, relax, and try to tap into that, you know. Meditation, I'll always recommend that. I remember last week, you guys, there's an emphasis on getting out into nature and grounding yourself. Okay, slow down this week. Do your very best to just slow down, appreciate your progress, and try to tune in to your inner self and hear the message that it's trying to communicate to you. Our last clarification will be of the Knight of Cups, which is higher energies, higher influences that are at play for you this week. We have the Queen of Cups on top of that Knight of Cups. So this is encouraging you to tap into your intuition, to experience your life through the heart, if that makes sense. Okay, what has gotten you up to this point so far is this Swords energy, this logical, down to earth, cerebral perspective, and that's good. A healthy mind and a healthy perspective has a good balance of both the brain and the heart. But now this week, a lot of information is coming into you through the heart, okay? Energetically, in your subconscious. And it's a very feminine, nurturing energy, okay? So tap into that, especially if you're feeling a little tired or a little ragged, right? Because you have this victory coming up for you, and victory is never easily come by. So there may be an opportunity or a necessity, right, for self-care, nurturing yourself and nurturing your creativity, okay? Because that's another thing about the Queen of Cups, or the cups in general, is very creative energy, very imaginative. Anything is possible in the cups, in the world of the cups. There is no, nothing is impossible. That's what I've got. Okay. So this is turning out to be kind of a spiritual reading for you guys this week. I'm going to pull couple shamanic medicine cards for you guys, or maybe just one. Maybe just one. What do we got for Aries? The week of July 12th through the 18th. I threw it, of course. The flute. Expression. And this is perfect. Creativity and expression. And also expressing your truth, expressing your feelings, expressing that which comes from the heart, which I don't think should be too difficult for a lot of you, but that's not so true for everybody. Some people are very private. Some people are afraid to express their deepest feelings or their deepest thoughts for fear of being misunderstood or potentially even rejected. But because you have this divine energy bringing you insight and information this week, I feel that this implies that that information is coming to you to be shared with somebody else, whether it be the whole world or your bubble, people in your bubble, or just one individual who needs to hear something right now, and you are the person who can help them hear it. So next, I'm gonna pull a couple cards to figure out what you can do this week to further your progress. What can Aries do this week to further their progress? Aries, Aries, Aries. If it doesn't give me one, I'm gonna take one. Oh, there it is. Awesome. We have the Crow. Mystery and magic. Indulge yourself in a little bit of magical thinking this week. Contemplate the mysteries of the universe, the metaphysical, the unknowable, and the unseen. Indulge yourself with those things, okay? Watch some documentaries about aliens. You know, and this may be something that you draw a lot of inspiration from, as well, like the magical side of life and the mysteries of the world, the meaning of life, human origin, crystals even. Dive in. There's a lot to be found there, right? Okay, so the next card that I'm going to pull, because we're on that spiritual route, is going to be a card from the, Lightworkers Oracle deck. I personally am of the opinion that if you found yourself here watching this reading, you probably are a light worker, because those who are not don't really tend to seek out this kind of media. So, while this may apply to you for that reason, it may also not. But I feel drawn. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we have Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. And this is what I was talking about with the Queen of Cups up there, as well as the Knight of Cups. This warm, motherly, nourishing energy coming in and enveloping you, right? Pure, raw, creative energy. You have access to that right now. So explore it, okay? Realize that you can do anything. You can manifest anything that you can dream of. All right. So last, but certainly not least, I'm going to pick a couple cards for advice or things to inspire you for the rest of the week, Aries. as you dive deep into the mysteries of the universe and explore your inner vision. What more can we offer? Direction. First card we've got coming out right now, direction. And so perhaps part of your contemplations this week have to do with what direction you take from here. After this victory, this Six of Wands, you have a lot of options available to you, as well as the option to make your own path. And perhaps that is what you should do. Consider it, right? Let's see what else we got. Gratitude. And gratitude is a big part of exploring your spiritual side and the mysteries of the universe. You will inevitably come to the conclusion that it's mind-blowing and that you can't really fully understand the inner workings of existence and creation. Right? The human mind cannot conceive of the mysteries and the secrets that the universe holds. The more you learn, the less you know. That's how it's supposed to be. And at the end, all you can do is be grateful that you have that connection to spirit and that you can feel it. You don't just see the beauty. You don't just know that it's beautiful. You feel it. It's overwhelming. It takes over. It might make you cry, right? Be grateful for everything that you have, and be grateful towards yourself, for yourself, and the hard work that you've put in to get you to where you are right now. All right, next I'm going to draw a card, and these are new cards. They are mantra cards. And so this is something that you can meditate on. If you like to do mantras, if you like to, some people do that. It helps them get in a quieter, calmer state of mind, helps them focus their intentions. So if that's something that might benefit you, then this will be fun to try. What do we got for Aries? All right. We have Untangled Neglect. There we go. I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. And this goes back to gratitude, as well as the Seven of Pentacles. You know, recognizing your own hard work, appreciating yourself for what you have created thus far, and believing in yourself that you can create so much more, and that you are an unstoppable force of nature, directly tuned into spirit. And your only limitation are the bounds of your imagination. So when you feel like you're starting to doubt yourself again, when those thoughts creep into your head, you're questioning, oh, what have I done? What direction am I moving in? Is this sustainable? Can I really do this? Right? Then just remind yourself, okay? I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. And I think, and I haven't read the book, but Untangling Neglect, to me, refers to, since it's a pink card, neglecting your own, For pink, I really get root chakra here. So your own very basic needs you might have ignored while on your journey, right? You may put a lot of people ahead of you first. And also, there may be themes of codependency in your life. Is there somebody that you depend on to make you feel like you're important? Is there somebody that you depend on to give you, to approve of your decisions, to approve of what you created? When you do that, you give somebody else power over your creative energy. You allow somebody else to dictate what is and isn't possible in your life. And so it's time to let go of that and to realize that you are the master of your own self, of your own journey. You and only you hold the key to your future. You and only you know truly your personal soul calling and what is right for you. And you know it deep in your heart. This is not something that occurs in the brain. You've known it for a long time. I think this is something that a lot of people come to as children. And then as we get older and life gets busy and clustered and crazy, we forget it because we're so focused on surviving. And we're focused on meeting the expectations of others. This is a theme that comes in early in childhood. And that's how you forget. That's how you forget and lose connection to your own drive, your own values. Okay, so take time to appreciate yourself. Appreciate your hard work. Allow yourself to think creatively and use your imagination. Go wild, dream big, and recognize that you've already come this far and there's nothing stopping you from continuing on. I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. I do not need it from anywhere else. So that's your reading, Aries, for the week of July 12th through the 18th. If this resonated with you, please feel free to like the video and subscribe. I'll be uploading a lot more regularly every week. If you have any ideas, I'm looking for ideas for pick-a-card spreads or other kinds of readings that I could do that people would want to listen to. So if you have any ideas like that, please feel free to leave a comment. Yeah, I lost my thought there. It was right there. It was in my brain, and then on its way to my mouth, I think it fell out of my ear. So I'm gonna quit there. Thank you, Aries, for sticking around, watching this video, and stop by again next week for your next weekly reading.